Welcome back. This is episode 2 of our series on transformers and large language models. Last time we cracked open attention, the trick that lets a model decide what to focus on. Today we put that trick to work. We'll meet three famous families of models: BERT, GPT, and Vision Transformer. They look very different on the outside, but underneath they all run on same idea. Let us see how. Quick recap. In episode 1 we learned attention and we stacked it into a repeatable unit called a transformer block. Think of that block as a single Lego piece. So here is today's puzzle. If everyone is using the same Lego piece, why do these models feel so different? One understands text, one writes text, one looks at pictures. The answer is simple and it is the key to this whole episode. They arrange the same block in different ways and they train it on different games. That's it. Same piece, different builds. Let us look at three main models. There are three ways to arrange the block. The first is an encoder. It reads the whole input at once and try to understand it. This is what BERT uses. The second is decoder. It writes from left to right, one word at a time. This is what GPT uses. And the third is both together, an encoder paired with a decoder. It reads one thing and writes another, which is perfect for jobs like translation. Notice the little arrow on each word. They show what each word is allowed to look at. That teeny difference is what we'll zoom into next. Here is the part that surprises people. BERT and GPT use the exact same attention math. The only big difference is what each word is allowed to look at. On the left is BERT's way, bidirectional. Every word can see every other word both before and after it. So the word sat can look at the, cat and down all at once. Full context, great for understanding. On the right is GPT's ways, casual. Each word can only see the words that came before it. So sat can see the and cat, but it's not allowed to peek at down. Why block it? Because when you're writing, you don't get to see the future. You have to guess the next word from what you have written so far. That blocking is exactly what makes a model able to generate text. So see everything and you understand. See only the past and you can write. Let us start with BERT. The name stands for bidirectional encoder, representations from transformers. But don't worry about that mouthful. In plain words, BERT reads whole sentence at once, looking in both directions to really understand it. Here is the important thing. BERT doesn't write text. Instead, it turns words into rich number summaries. We call them embeddings that other tools can use. Think of BERT as a careful reader who hands you a deep understanding of sentence rather than a writer who talks back. So how does BERT gets so good at understanding? Through a simple game called fill in the blank. You take a sentence, hide one word and ask the model to guess it. Because BERT can see the words in both sides, it makes smart guesses and puts most of its confidence on the best bit. Now do this billions of times across huge amounts of text. To fill in those blanks well, the model is forced to learn how language fits together, grammar, meaning, the works, and it learns all of it without anyone labeling a thing. So where do you actually use BERT? Anywhere. You need to understand text rather than write it. Classification, like deciding if a review is positive or negative, or if an email is spam. Search and ranking, matching a question to the best answer. Finding names, pulling out people, places and dates from a block of text. And embeddings, tuning text into numbers so you can measure how similar two pieces of writing are. If the job is about understanding, sorting or judging, BERT and its cousins are strong choice. Now let us meet GPT. The name stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and GPT does one thing astonishingly well. It predicts the next word, then it does it again and again. Because It only looks to the left at what is already been written. It can just keep going, add a word, use that to pick up the next word and repeat. String enough of those together and you'll get full sentences, paragraphs and even code. This is the family behind ChatGPT and most of the chat assistants we have used. GPT's training game is just as simple as BERT. Give it some word and ask what comes next. Give it the cat and it learns to predict sat. Now feed the cat sat back in and it predicts on. Feed that back in and it predicts the. See the pattern, it writes one word, then reads its own writing to choose the next one. That loop, predict, add, repeat is the entire idea played across whole internet's worth of text. It is enough to teach a model to write about almost anything. So GPT shines wherever you need to create something, chat and assistance, answering questions and holding back and forth, writing and summarizing, drafting emails, stories or short summaries, writing code, turning a plain English request into working code, and a neat trick called view shot. Show GPT just a couple of examples of what you want and it picks up pattern and keep going. If the job is about generating, GPT is your tool. Let us put them next to each other so it sticks. BERT is an encoder, GPT is a decoder. BERT reads both direction, GPT reads left to right only. BERT learns by filling in the blanks, GPT learns by predicting the next word. BERT's strength is understanding, GPT sees generating. You'll find BERT style models powering things like church. You'll find GPT style models powering chatbots. Same engine pointed at two different goals. Here is where it gets fun. For years, images were handled by different kind of model. Then researchers asked a bold question: what if we treat a picture like a sentence? The trick is chop the image into small square patches, line those patches up in a row like words, and feed them to the very same transformer. No special image machinery, just patches as words, and surprisingly it works really well. This is called vision transformer. Let us walk through it in 3 steps. Step 1. Cut the image into a grid of small patches. Step 2. Treat each patch like a word in sentence. We line them up, add a little position info so the model knows where each patch sat in the picture, exactly like word order in text. And we add one more special marker at the front to summarize the whole image. Step 3. Feed that row of patches into same transformer we have used all along, and out comes a label like cat. So picture quietly becomes a sequence of patches and attention works on it exactly the same way it works on words. Should vision transformers replace older image models called CNNs? Not always. Each has its place. A vision transformer sees the whole image at once, so it is great at linking far apart parts of picture, and it scales beautifully when you have tons of data. The catch is that it needs a lot of data to shine. The older CNNs looks at small local areas first, works well even with less data, and it is very efficient. Its weakness is that it can miss big picture connections across an image. So lots of data and big picture understanding lean toward vision transformer. Less data or limited compute, a CNN is still a fine choice. Let us see how easy this is actually used. With a popular free library called Hugging Face Transformers, you can load a ready-made BERT model in just a few lines. Here we ask for sentiment model, give it the sentence, "This tutorial made attention finally click," and it tells us sentiment is positive with very high confidence. We didn't train anything, we just borrowed a model someone already trained and put it to work. Using GPT is just as simple. We load a small GPT style text generator, give it the start of sentence. Attention is powerful because, and ask it to continue. The model writes the next words for us one at a time, just like we saw earlier. A little setting, let us add some creativity so it doesn't always say the same thing. Same library, same few lines, but now we are generating instead of understanding. Using a vision transformer is just as simple. We load a small image classifier, hand it a picture, here a photo of cat, and ask the model what it sees. Behind the scenes, it slips the image into patches and pay attention to the ones that matter, just like we saw earlier. One little setting asks for top 3 guesses and the model hands back a label and how confident it is. Same library, same few lines, but now we are feeding it images instead of words. Let us make this practical. Here is a quick guide for picking a model. Need to understand, sort or search text, reach for BERT style encoder. Need to write, chart or generate, reach for a GPT style decoder. Working with images, a vision transformer or a classic CNN will fit. And if you're turning one piece of text into another, like translating, an encoder decoder is built exactly for that. Match the shape of model to shape of your problem and you're halfway there. So what would we gain today? You can now explain how one transformer block becomes an encoder, a decoder, or both. You can tell BERT and GPT apart by how they read and how they are trained. You understand fill in the blank versus predict the next word. You have seen how an image turn into patches for a vision transformer, and you can pick the right family for a given task. Next time in episode 3, we get hands-on prompt engineering and fine-tuning. That is how you get great results from these models, both by asking them well and by teaching them with your own data. If this made things click, a like really helps and subscribe so you don't miss it. See you in episode 3.